Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, I understand things are hard, all right? But I'm going to tell you some second chance installment loan places you should take a look at, okay, to see if they're able to help you. Now, here's the thing about it. Because these type of lenders, they're not looking for good credit, okay? You don't have to use collateral, and you don't have to use a cosigner. All right, this is the reason I'm pointing these out, because a lot of people, they may have to go through these challenges, but I'm gonna tell you some of the easier loans you should take a look at. Now, there's one other thing I must tell you. If you are working a job, then I would definitely run to my HR and file that W-4. That's the best free interest loan that anybody can get. Okay, and what I mean by that is they'll stop taking out federal income taxes out of your check. That way you can bring home a bigger paycheck to get caught up on your bills. All right, that being said, let's talk about some of these second chance. First, a lot of people know about DCU, Digital Credit Union, okay? And a lot of people have heard that they will give you up to $2,000 with no credit check. However, many people are not aware that they also have their personal loans, okay? That they give you up to 60 days before you make your first payment. Now, going back to the second chance loan with DCU, all right? So here's how it breaks down. If you're with them for the first 90 days, they'll give you $1,000, okay? No credit check. If you are with them for 6 months, then they give you up to $2,000, okay? So they won't give you that $2,000 right off bat, all right? But that would be your first second chance installment loan I would tell you to take a look at. Now, the second one would be from Big Buck Loans. Now, Big Buck Loans is a platform, all right? And so what I mean by a platform is that when you put your information in, they try to find the best lender to work with you, all right? And this is what I mean by they're not focused on the credit score. They're focused on your availability to actually repay the loan. So you have to have an active checking account with deposits in it. Now, I always tell you guys, the minimum income that you should have when you're looking at these type of lenders is at least $1,000 after taxes. Now, the good thing about them, if you're on government benefits, they will work with you. Now, they only go up to $5,000. Sorry about that, guys. They only go up to $5,000. But the best part about it, the interest rate is from 5.99 up to 35.99. So they're not charging you triple digit interest rates. And the best part about it, because they actually do service tribal lenders. And so with tribal lenders, again, these are lenders that's willing to work with you to give you that second chance. All right. So that's the reason why a lot more people being approved for these type of lenders. All right. Then the next one is Viva Payday Loans. Okay. Viva Payday Loans is similar to Big Buck Loans because the interest rates is 5.99 up to 35.99. All right. So that's the great part about this, is that with these here lenders, again, you're not jumping through hoops. All right. So if you have a high debt to income ratio, they are okay with that. They still will work with you long as you're able to show the means of you're actually being able to make the payments. Now, here's another thing I would tell you. Look, guys, if you have a personal loan with a credit union, if you have a car loan with a credit union, even some banks, and you're struggling, before you miss that payment, you need to reach out and see if they have a program that's called Skip a Payment. Okay. And so with some credit unions, they'll let you do it every 6 months. And so what that means is that they will allow you not to make a payment on your loan, and they will not report it as a negative on your credit file so that you will lower your credit score, okay? They're really flexible to work with you. This is the reason why I tell people, even with Navy Federal, With Navy Federal, like if you take out a loan or a credit card and you find yourself in a position where it's challenging for you to make your payments and stuff, call up Navy Federal, okay? Let them know the situation. What they will do normally before it goes into charge-off status or collection status, what they'll do, they'll freeze your account, okay? They'll freeze your account, and then they'll stop reporting to the credit bureaus, but you'll still be making smaller payments on the thing. They just won't be reporting it to the credit bureaus, okay? So you want to do that before you actually miss a payment or even going into collection status, all right? Because you need to save your credit. A lot of people don't think saving credit is important. Trust me, saving your credit, especially in a climate like this, is very important, all right? Now, let's talk about some more. So you have Credit Ninja. So Credit Ninja offers up to $5,000 as well. And so with Credit Ninja, again, they are a platform. Okay, so they are platform. Now, please remember, with some of these lenders, they're not in all 50 states. All right, so just keep that in mind. By them not being in all 50 states, so if they're not able to help you, then you have to look at another one. The ones that are more flexible is like with Big Buck Viva Payday Loans, because they service most states. All right, now here's the thing about it. Like I continue to tell you, it's not about the credit score. What ends up happening for a lot of people, if they get denied, it may be because of your old credit files, okay? Meaning that those financial credit bureaus that you're not even aware, they have old, outdated information on you, okay? So the information on the credit card application or that loan application that you're putting in is not matching up with the third-party credit bureaus, okay? And so that's the reason I try to educate you all on these things. It's not because the credit and they're not wanting to work, which is just the data is not matching up. Because again, like for example, like I said, you may be in one state and then you just recently moved to a new state, or you may have been in one apartment and then you just moved to another apartment in the same complex, but because they use the older history when they're using these third-party credit bureaus, that may be the reason. So not because of your credit score, all right? So that's the reason why I want you all to be aware of that. Now, you have another lender, which is MoneyKey. Now, MoneyKey, granted, they're not in all 50 states. They just offer loans from $200 up to $2,500, plus they offer lines of credit, all right? Then, here's another option for you guys. Look, if you have a paid-off car, okay, and you may have a little equity in it, you may want to see if this company called Yendo, Y-E-N-D-O, all right, they offer loans up to, it's a loan credit card they give you, okay, up to $10,000, okay? So if you have equity in your car, they will give you a loan towards the equity in your car, all right? Now, here's the interesting thing about it. You do not have to have the car paid off in order for them to give you a loan, but you do have to have equity in it. All right, so that's something that you guys should keep in mind if you have a paid off car. Now, if you guys are in the gig economy, of course, you hear me tell you about Giggle Finance that offers loans up to $5,000. And you just have to show proof you've been in the gig economy for at least 90 days and you're receiving at least 3 to 4 payments a month in your checking account. Now, it does not have to be a business checking account, all right? So that's the thing about it. It does not have to be a business checking account. However, if you are an independent contractor, you should be registered as a business because there's more lenders out there that will give you much more money when you have a registered business, okay? You also can take a look at Fundo. They give you merchant cash advance up to $10,000. Now, they don't operate in California, New York, but 90 days, at least minimum $1,500 a month. So again, making sure that you have 3 to 4 deposits monthly in order to qualify for them as well. Then you have some other tribal lenders, like you have Uprova. Now, Uprover, you have to be careful on the interest rate because it is a tribal lender and they're a direct tribal lender. So what it is, they may offer you a loan and approve you for a loan, but the interest rate may be approaching the double to triple digits on that. So just keeping in mind of that. Then you also have Rise Credit. Now, again, with Rise Credit, again, they will also offer you a loan. And remember, I was telling you about those third-party credit bureaus. Well, with Rise Credit, just like these other lenders, they're going to look at Clarity, which is owned by Experian. They're going to look at Teletrack, which is owned by Equifax. DataX, which is owned by Equifax. You know, some of them may look at Factor Trust, which is owned by TransUnion. Or they may even look at your LexisNexis. Let me tell you guys, your LexisNexis file, you need to opt out. If you're trying to fix your credit file, if you're trying to get access to funding, LexisNexis is a big culprit of holding a lot of your data, your old data, and they're reselling that information. Okay, so you definitely want to take a look at that. Then you have Cash USA. They offer loans up to $10,000. All right, again, using the third-party credit bureaus. You have Lend Nation. They offer lines of credit up to $10,000. So there are plenty of places out here that will give you a second chance. But the big thing about it is just being able to show proof of income. Remember, I told you guys, you do not necessarily have to have a regular job. So you don't have to be a W-2 worker. All right, but as long as you're able to show proof of income. So if you're on benefits, if you're on child support, if you an entrepreneur, you know, just being able to show proof of income, that's exactly what a lot of these lenders are looking for. All right, so I hope this helps you. If you have any other questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.